Good day and welcome to our channel. This is the best fashion tutorials. Today I will be taking you on a step-by-step guide on how to sew a waistcoat, double-breasted waistcoat, from the start to the finish. So now we'll be drafting the measurements. We'll be using our shoulder as 16, chest 40, length 26, and then our stomach will be 36. So let's start the drafting. So now I'll be using 3 inches up here for our overlap for the lapel allowance. You will know what the 3 inches is for when the time comes. You mark out 3 inches upwards. Now mark 3 inches again sideways for these 3 inches is also for the lapel. Then, as I told you, we'll be sewing a double-breasted waistcoat. So we also take the double-breasted allowance, which is 2.5 inches. But for your regular waistcoat, you use 1 inch for your button allowance. So this is just like a button allowance, but it's 2.5. So now our measurements will be started from this line. So we'll take out our shoulder. The shoulder is 16 inches. We'll leave 3 inches for the neck. And then our shoulder slant is 2.5. So we'll be taking our shirt length, our waistcoat length. The length is 26 inches. So we are not giving any allowances for the length, because the allowance will come on the lining for the back. So now we'll break the neck. From here we'll take 10 inches, which is on the former video. I have a video on this type of waistcoat. Is your chest, which is 40, divided by 4 plus 1 inch, will give you your slant. So if you have not watched that video, you can as well make reference to it, because that one has more detailed explanation than this. So on this, we'll be marking out our armhole. First of all, we'll get our shoulder, which is the 16. And from here we'll take 8 inches for the armhole. You can take 8 inches from here, or you take 10 inches from here. They are all the same. So this is the arm line. So now you take your chest. I told you your chest, you're marking out from this line, from the second line here. So this is our chest, which is 40. Then I give an allowance of ½ inch. You can decide to give ½ inch, you can decide to give 1 inch, depends on how you sew. So from the base here, we'll be taking out 2.5 for our slant. Then for my waistline, 6 inches. So I said the waist is 36. 36 divided by 4 is 9 inches. You add your half-inch sewing allowance. Then on this point, which is the hip, my hip remains 40. Or if the hip you are using is more than 40, you do well to use the proper hip measurements. If it's more than your chest, feel free to expand it. So I didn't give any much allowance, because I'm not going to put a dart. Or if you are putting a dart, of course you give 1.5 inch allowance, because your dart will take about 1 inch, then the half inch again will continue. Alright, so now I'll be marking out the armpits. We roll a straight line from the shoulder down. Then you measure the armpits divided by 2, which is 8 inches divided by 2 will give you 4. On this 4 line, you take in 1 inch. Then you connect make it deep. Okay, that is it for the armpit. So now on this base here, we'll take 2 inches for our triangle, because the down of waistcoats are usually triangular in shape. And here we'll take 3.5. You connect the lines together. Good. So now it's time to mark out the lapel. Okay, sorry, I noticed I connected this line wrongly. It was supposed to be connected here. Remember, this is our button allowance, our double-breasted allowance. So connect it to the main cloth, which is this. So I'll erase this line. So now for the collar, remember I reconnected this line from this point to this point, not this. So for the collar, we'll be measuring, the width of the collar is 3 inches, the width of the lapel, although you can make it any size you want. On this point we'll be using 2.5. So now you curve it to any shape you want. Make sure you get a very nice curve when you are cutting it. So now if you are placing a pocket on your waistcoat, your pocket line will be 18 inches. You take 2 inches from the main chest, which is the main cloth. Pocket of waistcoats you don't really make it wide enough, because most of them are just fancy pockets. There's nothing in it. So 4 inches is enough. Make it 4 inches for the pockets. So now we'll be cutting it. Just as I told you, when you are cutting this part, carefully remove, get the exact shape of the lapel you need. So now we have cut out the main waistcoats. This is how the lapel will look like. If I was going to use this material for the lapel, it will come out like this, but I'll be using a satin for it. I want the lapel to be black in color, so we cut out. At this point, we'll stop our cutting for at this. We'll stop our cutting at 4 inches, 5 inches on this part, so you can connect the lines together. And then you cut it out. So now we are going to cut out the lining, which is the back part of the waistcoat. So you fold your chest divided by 4, then you add extra 1 inch allowance, which in this case my chest divided by 4 is 40 divided by 4, which is 10 plus 1, 11. So I used 11 inches here. So now remember, your main chest is starting from this line, not from here. This is for the overlapping. Your main chest is starting here. So you place your clothes here and then you cut it. So now the overlap, the back will be longer than the front, like as usual for your senator and your native wears. Even the suits, even for your suits, the back is usually longer. So for this one, we'll be using 4 inches. You slant it, then we cut it off. Now you bend it. At this point, you try as much as possible to maintain your straight line. Alright, so now we'll take out our shoulder. Our shoulder, which is 16. Plus 1 inch allowance. So you cut it out. Make sure your dress is overlapping with ½ inch. Your shoulder is overlapping with ½ inch. You maintain the same shape. Now below it will be more than the front width by 1 inch. the back will be longer than the front by 1 inch. That is it. So now we'll fold our lapel, pin it down, so 1/2 inch will overlap for the shoulder. Always remember, don't forget. You can hold it down. Then you cut. You're cutting now. Remember, this point is a finished edge already, so you will not cut it exactly to where this one is. You will give an allowance to close up this place. I believe you will understand what I'm saying, in case you don't understand now. So we cut the back neck. So we left 1/2 inch allowance. So now you balance it to be straight. So this is it. That is all for the cutting of the back. Let me deepen it more a bit. So now we will cut another lining exactly the shape of this, because we need 2 linings to turn it over. So you can kindly rewatch anywhere you are confused. You can back forward it so that you can be clear. Thank you. So now we are cutting the hairstay. Every waistcoat, just like suit, needs hairstay. Don't make the mistake of sewing your waistcoat without hairstay, because the waistcoat will not stand. So I'm cutting it with an allowance of 1/4 inch all round. Then after I finish it, I will now shape it off to the actual. I will now shape it down to the actual size. Meanwhile, if you have watched this video up to this point, I believe you are deriving value from it. I want you to subscribe, please. Like and comment. Share this video to your friends. Thank you. So one more thing and we are done. We'll be cutting out the inner lining for the front panel. So now we'll be cutting out the inner lining. So now you place this your inner panel to overlap with 1/2 inch. Then we place the main waistcoat on it so as to get our actual measurement, our actual. So I'll take it up. Now we cut. And this one now you don't cut it exactly. You give an allowance when you now join it, you can now shape it to be exact. So that is it for the cutting of the waistcoats. That is everything about the cutting. Now I'll be posting another video on the sewing, so stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and you'll get more value. Thank you.